Peyton has the football, fakes an inside handoff, throws to the right, intercepted, Trey Patrick bringing it back, the 10, the 5, touchdown! Trey Kirkpatrick picks off Peyton Manning and takes it to the house for a potential clinching touchdown.
From the Arena Sports Network, this is the ALR Express, presented by Sowers Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Oh, yes. Gotta love a pick six at the end of Monday Night Football. The quintessential 700 WLUW giving us the strains of what was a shining moment in Cincinnati Bengals football history as the Bengals knock off the Denver Broncos and deny them from vying for home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. Wow. Who'd ever thunk it? Welcome to the ALR Express, where we try to cram just a little bit of what we need to do in about maybe a half hour or so. Alvin Washington in the building once again, as we see some things that do need some addressing. If you want to address it along right with us, come on right with it. 573-200-6505. Again, 573-200-6505. Some housekeeping to do in a little bit, then later on in the show, we'll take a look at an interesting quirk in the Jameis Winston ruling that I have a feeling might get, I don't know, picked apart and poked at and prodded at and debunked by the prosecution in the appeal process. Because there will be an appeal process to this. Some housekeeping real quick. We here at the ALR Express, the Afternoon Locker Room, and the Arena Sports Network do send our best wishes to Dwayne Poley II, the forward from San Diego State, who unfortunately had a collapse 10 minutes into the game on last night when San Diego State took on UC Riverside. That was a scary scene. Kid was just basically coming across the free throw line extended, and all of a sudden he just went boom and was unconscious. I would say for the better part of about 5 minutes. Luckily, he was revived on the floor, and his parents were in the stand watching this as well. And that's not a great thing to see your kid doing what he loves to do, and all of a sudden in an instant he just can't do it anymore. This takes me back to I might be dating myself here, but it does bear to bring this up. Hank Gathers, the late guard for Loyola Marymount, when LMU was in their heyday back in the early 90s. Guy was on the free throw line. Took a shot. Was getting ready to head back down the other way, and unfortunately collapsed and was dead on the floor. I mean, done. that something like that shocked the entire nation and brought arrhythmia, which is what Hank Gathers was diagnosed with in the autopsy, which is a very irregular heartbeat. And for someone like me who has battled for the last few years something called chronic heart failure, I truly identify with a situation like this. And I'm not even 1/8 as athletic as Hank Gathers and Dwayne Pulley II are. So believe me, this does indeed hit home. Thankfully for Dwayne Pulley II, he is responsive, still in the San Diego hospital. No word yet as if he has been released or not, but do keep him in your prayers as he makes his recovery and hopefully return back to the basketball court. Head coaching news, there's a brand new coach at Florida A&M University, and he indeed comes from the FBS ranks. His name is Alex Wood. And about an hour ago, Tallahassee time, he was introduced at a news conference. Alex Wood, whose last stop was at Buffalo as an offensive coordinator, has 30 years of coaching experience at the high school, college, and professional levels, having been at the U, Miami, from 89 to 93 as a running backs coach, was head coach at James Madison from 95 to 98, leading them to a berth in the then 1AA playoffs, and has also been coach and or coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, Cincinnati Bengals, and Minnesota Vikings. Last time that Coach Wood was an actual head coach, he was interim for the whole season when Buffalo replaced Jeff Quinn. So hopefully a little bit of that big-time / pro-level experience will be able to rub off on the future Rattlers that come through Tallahassee. We do wish Coach Alex Wood the best of luck. 8 after the hour, this is the ALR Express presented by Sowers Ford, Lincoln Mercury, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln Mercury dealer. Hit us up 573-200-6505. Tweet us at ASN Plus or at Arena Sports Net. And, of course, you know where the Facebook page for the Afternoon Locker Room is. We'd love to hear from you. Linking our way toward the Christmas holidays. And I know everybody and their grandma going to be happy to see what Santa put under the tree and what Mama and them cooked in the house and all that fun stuff. Just make sure you do everything in moderation. Because year after year, when we come across the new year, everybody's guts went from like almost on their rib cage to almost halfway off to about maybe an inch off the table. It happens every year. It's just do things in moderation. And I can guarantee you're going to have an absolutely enjoyable Christmas, New Year's, and all that fun stuff. To wit, first topic of the day, what I saw Sunday with the Lions and the the Lions and the Bears. Very good game. Jimmy Clausen was doing his thing. I'm to be quite honest with you, I'm surprised they didn't put him in there earlier this year for the Bears instead of whatever the heck they're getting ready to do with Jay Cutler for this last week, because unfortunately Jimmy Clausen got concussed, and I know the play he got concussed on. It was that headshot after he slid down right before the first down mark in that last drive. And he got up and was pissed off. But that wasn't the part that I was getting to. During a particular pileup, Lions center Dominic Raiola did what unfortunately his reputation has preceded him in doing. And that was to try and injure another defensive lineman. In this case, it was Emo Ferguson of the Bears, number 90. Video clearly shows Dominic Raiola with intent to injure that right Achilles heel. I mean, you can't get me to believe that Dominic Raiola actually said this nonsense.
I didn't know it was that big of a deal when it happened. I mean, the ref, I even talked to the ref. I said, look, I'm not out here, doing that, that kind of stuff, the magnitude, these kinds of games. I mean, especially towards the end of the season.
Yeah, right. Everybody across the country with an ounce of sense could see exactly what you did, bro. Come on. Really? That's somebody's money you messing with, dude. That's not even remotely within the spirit of playing football. And I don't blame Brandon Marshall for saying what he said about Dominic Raiola being a dirty player. I don't blame him. Looking at what I saw there, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you trust me. One game, if Dominic Raiola only gets one game for an attempt to injure a defensive player, let's just say he tried to do the same thing to Darrelle Revis, to, I don't know, Patrick Peterson. I'm not quite sure one game would be enough. Matter of fact, in this case, I don't think one game would be enough. Quite honestly, with the track record he has, and with the rap sheet he already has with the league, I am surprised they didn't ban him for a year. Which brings me to the parallel. Dominic Raiola can only get suspended one game for stomping on a man's leg on the field. But Adrian Peterson, whose only egregiousness is hitting his 4-year-old with a switch as a means of disciplining him, he gets banned for a whole year? Seriously? Am I missing something in this? Here comes another parallel for you. Riley Cooper of the now playoff deposed Philadelphia Eagles, clearly shown on tape to make racial epithets at black players. Clearly on tape. No suspension from the league. Maybe a slap on the wrist from the Eagles. Ray Rice, who clearly admitted to striking his now wife, and her also admitting to provoking him in some kind of way, he goes from 2 games to a whole year. Thankfully, he's been reinstated. Folks, am I getting somewhere with this? What makes Dominic Raiola's and Riley Cooper's transgressions any less